Lemon pound cake is a classic. It's delicious and decadent. I'm Sugar, and you're watching Cooking with Sugar TV. Today I'm going to show you how to make my pound cake, and I call it a lemon ricotta pound cake. It's a little twist on the classic, but the ricotta cheese gives it such a richness and a delicious flavor that you're absolutely going to love. The ingredients you'll need to make this cake are salted butter, sugar, cake flour, eggs, heavy whipping cream, ricotta, lemons, vanilla, and almond extract, all at room temperature. So before we get started, I'm going to show you how to prepare the pan. And I like to use a bundt pan, and this is a 10-cup bundt pan, or tube pan, whatever you want to call it. And what I like to do is I butter it with a little pastry brush and some melted butter. And then I sprinkle some sugar and coat the pan in the butter and the sugar before I put the cake mix in. And this is really simple. You're just going to paint the butter inside the pan and coat it really well. Then I'm going to sprinkle the sugar all around, and I'm going to just tap this to coat it. And I'm actually going to dump it over the kitchen sink so I can get rid of the leftover sugar. Okay, so you can see that's coated with the butter and the sugar. So now I have my pan ready to go. I'm going to show you how to mix the ingredients. So the easiest way to make this cake is get all your ingredients ready. Have them at room temperature, prepare your pan, and then it really doesn't take much to prepare it. So let's get started. We're going to start by creaming the butter. So I have my 3 sticks of butter in my mixer, and you can also use a hand mixer. And I'm going to just cream the butter first. Now my butter is nice and soft, so it's going to just cream very easily. So I'm going to whip that up for a minute, just till it gets like a pale color. Then we're going to start to add the sugar. And that looks beautiful. So I'm going to scrape that down, and we're going to just add the sugar. Mix it a little bit, add the sugar, and just alternate. So then once we have the butter and the sugar cream together, we're going to add the eggs one at a time. And I like to put them in a measuring cup like this because it makes it so much easier. So just add them one at a time, let it mix until you get them all incorporated. So now I have my eggs mixed in there. Okay, see how beautiful that looks? So I'm going to take my heavy cream and my ricotta cheese, and I'm going to put that in this cup together. I'm just going to whisk that together till it's blended. And then to that, I'm going to add my vanilla and my almond extract. Okay, now the next step, we're going to alternate this ricotta cream and the flour to the mix. But I actually like to do it with my whisk at first to incorporate it, and because sometimes the flour can go all over the kitchen, makes a big mess. So I'm going to alternate the cream and the flour and the cream and the flour, and I'm just going to whisk it by hand at first, because you don't want to overbeat it. So sometimes I feel like if I do it with the electric mixer, I can overbeat it, and that's going to make a tough cake. It's a little messy, but that's what making a homemade cake is all about. So now at this point, I'm going to add the juice of the 1 lemon, and I'm just going to fold that in, and then I'm going to zest 1 lemon. And you could do 1 or 2, depending on how much lemon flavor you like. 1 is nice. If I want it to be really lemony, I'll use 2. And I have this zester. It's really cool because it makes it really easy. Just go around like this. See how pretty and bright that is? Okay, now you see that? I'm going to fold that in. And then I'm going to put my paddle on, give it 1 more mix. And this is ready to go in the oven. So let me get my paddle back on here. to let that mix for about a minute. And that looks beautiful. And now we're ready to put it in the pan. I've already preheated my oven to 325, and this is gonna bake for about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. And you're gonna have to just test it with a toothpick to make sure it's done, because every oven is different. And this batter is heavy. I mean, we have 3 sticks of butter in here. And don't get nervous that you're filling up the whole pan, because it really doesn't rise that much. It's a very moist, dense cake. You know, you have the ricotta cheese in there, you have the heavy cream. It's so delicious. And the smell of it right now, before it's even baking, is fabulous. And when this bakes in the house, your home is gonna smell like heaven. Now I'm just gonna smooth this out a little bit, make sure it's even. And this beauty is ready for the oven. So my cake is in the oven. I actually made this cake yesterday, and I just want to talk about what to do. So when the cake is finished, you're going to test it to make sure that the toothpick comes out clean, and then you're going to let it rest on a wire rack for about 10 minutes before you turn it out onto your plate. So this cake was made yesterday, like I said, so it's cooled completely, and it's beautiful. I mean, you could serve it just like this by itself. So here's where you can get creative. You could add just some powdered sugar to the top of this, or I just made a sugar glaze with just some powdered sugar and some heavy cream that I'm going to drizzle over the top of this. I made some homemade whipped cream yesterday, so I'm going to serve this. I'm going to drizzle it with the sugared glaze and serve it with some whipped cream and some strawberries. So let's see, we'll cut a piece here. Oh my gosh, and when you go to cut into this cake, you're gonna see how dense and rich it is. So you don't wanna serve a huge piece, but I'm telling you, people are going to love this. Now look at that. Is that gorgeous? Perfect, dense, buttery, creamy cake. And like I said, you could serve it just like this, but I am gonna drizzle the drizzle over it. I just wanted to show you that if you just wanted to have it plain like this, with a dollop of this homemade whipped cream and some of this on top and a little bit of powdered sugar, that's gorgeous, gorgeous dessert. So then another way is to just drizzle this all around the cake. And I flavored this with a little vanilla, and I'll put that recipe on the website. This is so beautiful. I'm gonna give it a sprinkle of powdered sugar, even put a strawberry or two to decorate this. And OMG, look at that. Is that gorgeous? How excited would you be to serve this at a dinner party? So now, let's taste it. Like I said, that buttery richness and the ricotta cheese, it's super, super delicious. For more recipes like this, be sure to log on to my website at cookingwithsugar.com, and be sure to share me with your friends. Follow me on Instagram. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. Let me taste this. Oh.
I love sugar.
Super fabulous, yummy, delicious. We need a beautiful picture of this. I do mine. All right, I'm a little cranky. I don't know where else to put it. Just show the cake swirling through or something. Oh, might want to plug it in. Everything look good? Wardrobe malfunctioning. I jumbled it. I love what I'm doing. I love to make cakes. I want to be happy about making a cake.